Canada's Mutaween, our religious cops, managed to shut down an event at a Jewish synagogue featuring Pamela Geller, who one cop implied, was a hate criminal. Well, she joins us now from New York City. Pamela, welcome to the show. I am outraged by this. Let me ask you, are you still coming to Toronto to give a speech?
Listen, I'll give my speech at a local McDonald's. Of course, I'm coming to Toronto. Truth is the new hate speech. That's my crime. And I do think that this speaks to the war on free speech. People are shocked by it. I am not shocked by it. This is how really far down the rabbit hole our law enforcement and our media has gone.
We have on the screen right now a poster of your new venue, the Toronto Zionist Center on Marlee Avenue. Your last venue was a synagogue run by the Jewish sect, the Chabad. It's a very Orthodox community. We talked to the cop, Inspector Ricky Virapan. We played some audio of him earlier in the show. He says, and this is what I can't believe, he claims that they did a, quote, hate crime investigation on you and presented their findings to this rabbi and also threatened him with firing him as the chaplain. I mean, he's not even pretending anymore, this Ricky Virapan. He basically says you're illegal in Canada. By the way, did he even contact you, Pamela, this cop?
No, he didn't. I would like very much to see this hate criminal investigation. I've never been arrested for anything. So what he is indicting me for is for my my protection of individual rights, my opposition to jihad, gender apartheid, creed apartheid. I know he was quoted in the papers as saying that the stuff that I talk about, it runs contrary to their values. So honor killings, speaking against honor killings and clitorectomies and gender apartheid and Sharia ethnic cleansing is counter to his values. Well, what are his values?
That's a damn good question.
That's really the question.
I want to educate this damn fool Inspector Ricky Virapan. I love that name. It's a child's name for a childlike police officer. I want to teach him a little something about Canadian values that you, Pamela Geller, brought to us. Remember, dear viewers, when Aqsa Parvez was murdered by her own father and brother in an act of, quote, honor killing. She was not allowed a burial in her own Muslim cemetery because the fundamentalist imams wouldn't allow it. She did not have a proper marker. But our friend Pamela Geller raised the money and built the memorial grove for Aqsa Parvez. This is a picture of the memorial that Pamela Geller built. She fundraised for this. This is Canadian values. This is Pamela Geller's values, and this is something that Inspector Ricky Virapan should learn about. I'm outraged that they would put you outside the country and tolerate the kind of hate crimes that are truly going on in Toronto. I mean, forget hate crimes, violent crimes.
And what about the speakers? You had Tariq Ramadan. You're having Layla Khaled at the university. I mean, a fierce Palestinian revolutionary. I mean, look, this speaks to me, it's eerily reminiscent of the early pogroms. Seriously, think about it. Cops going to a religious man, a pious man. He's a nonviolent man. They're not equipped to deal with stormtroopers coming in and threatening them. Now, that may sound a little fierce, but it's not. This is the beginning. And of course I'm going to come to Canada. I understand that these same Muslim groups are agitating the Minister Kenney, Justin Kenney, to keep me to bar me from coming into Canada. Where that is, I don't know. I don't know where that stands. But it's shocking to me that if you oppose jihad, if you speak for freedom of all peoples, that you are marginalized, demonized, and rendered illegal, rendered a criminal. It's shocking. And I think that a lot of Canadians, whatever their positions are, should be outraged and shocked by this. Although I will say in so many scores of emails, and these are just the emails where Canadians and people of all freedom-loving peoples actually across the world have been CCing me or BCCing me, writing the York police and writing, I think, various media outlets, that this is a travesty. But again, this is Sharia enforcement, Ezra. They are enforcing the Sharia. Do not speak critically. or do not offend Islam, and that's what this is. It's Sharia enforcement.
Yeah.
There's no other way to look at it.
They're really brave to take on you, a non-violent Jewish woman. They're really, really brave to take on you. But these cowards won't lift a finger even after they get warnings about the Tsarnaevs in Boston. I mean, they get Saudi Arabia and Russia giving them warning about guys going to meet in Chechnya and Dagestan. They don't lift a finger. They give them welfare. But you, they can boss you around. They can boss this rabbi of Chabad around because they know that you are gentle and you're not going to blow anyone up. But God forbid they actually stop one of these terrorists from coming to Canada. It shows a moral inversion. We need you to come up here, Pamela, to force the issue. I remember when Ann Coulter came to Canada about 3-4 years ago, the same freak out. And it was healthy for our country to see how corrupt our censors had become. We need you to come up here and force the issue.
I want very much to. But when you have the police enforcing it, it's particularly egregious. And now here we see in the wake of the Boston jihad bombing, and the following day, the proposed attack, the jihadi attack on the passenger train from New York to Toronto, now more than ever, the message is crucial. You're not only disarming law enforcement, you're not only disarming our troops in these blue-on-green attacks, you're disarming the Canadian people, you're disarming the American people in this dissembling and obfuscation and silence. It's deeply, deeply troubling. They're disarming freedom-loving peoples.
We're out of time. I look forward to seeing you in Toronto and talking to you about how your freedom talk went. Thanks for being with us today, folks.